Good morning, Year 3, it's Miss Callahan here. We hope that you're all okay. It's been lovely to speak to a lot of you on the phone and to see so many packs being collected. The first thing you need to do this morning is write the date and the learning objective in your literacy book. The date is Monday the 25th of January 2021 and our learning objective today is to label a plant drawing. Pause the video and write this in your book now and press play to continue with the lesson. As it's a Monday morning, we need to wake up our brains. So to start with, we're going to look at this activity. A simple sentence is a group of words that expresses one complete thought. So for example, we've got Samira likes football here, that's a simple sentence. And every simple sentence must contain a subject and a verb. So in this sentence, can you spot the subject and the verb? Using our word classes, the subject is usually the noun and the verb describes an action. This was a tricky one. I might have tricked a couple of you out. So we can see that the subject is Samira. The sentence is telling you about Samira. And the verb is likes because it's telling you that she likes football. Football isn't a verb because it is a thing. So the verb also could have been Samira played football. Samira watched football. What about this one? Have a try in your books. I want you to write the sentence and then draw an arrow to the subject and label it subject, and draw an arrow to the verb and label it the verb. Press play when you're ready to see the answer. In this sentence we've got Ben as the subject and loves as the verb. Simple sentences can also be called the main or independent clause. So, Samira likes football is a simple sentence, but it could also be called a main clause or an independent clause. And that's because both of these sentences make sense on their own. But we could link them together using a coordinating conjunction to form a compound sentence. You can see here that we've got Samira likes football, and is our coordinating conjunction, and then Ben loves basketball is another main clause. We use compound sentences in our writing to try and make it more varied. I know we've been learning about conjunctions a little bit, so just to recap, there are 7 coordinating conjunctions. And we can remember them by the mnemonic fanboys. So we have got for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. What coordinating conjunction could be used to link these two independent clauses together? We could try them all in the sentence. So if we try for, Samira likes football, for Ben loves basketball. And you can tell just by reading it that it doesn't make sense. Samira likes football and Ben loves basketball. That one works. Samira likes football, nor Ben loves basketball. Again, that one doesn't sound right. Samira likes football, but Ben loves basketball would be another coordinating conjunction that we could use in this sentence. In a compound sentence, sometimes the two independent clauses need a comma and a conjunction. Which of these punctuation marks is a comma? Point to the screen. We should have picked this one, because this one's a full stop. This one is a question mark. This one is our comma. And that one is our exclamation mark. When we're writing, it would be strange to only use short, simple sentences. It might make our writing quite difficult to read. So instead, I want you to try making some compound sentences when you do your literacy. Here we've got two simple sentences. I do not like eating meat. I love vegetables. By putting these two sentences together and joining them with a conjunction, we can make a much more interesting compound sentence. Can you look at this sentence and tell me where the conjunction is? What is the conjunction? So, I do not like eating meat. So one simple sentence. I love vegetables is another simple sentence. We can see that our conjunction is but. And we've got our comma before it. Well done if you got that right. Now, in your literacy books, I want you to write these sentences and choose the best conjunction from below to complete your sentence. So we've got and that you can use, we've got so and but. And you need to put one into each of the gaps. Remember, you can try each word in the sentence before you write it to see if it makes sense. Press pause now to complete this activity, and then press play when you are ready to continue with the lesson. This week we're starting a new outcome. In your science and curriculum lessons, you've been learning lots about plants. So now we're going to use that knowledge to create a pop-up book explaining the different parts and functions of plants. We're going to spend 2 weeks in literacy doing this, and in the end we would like to take pictures of them and post them on the blog for other children to be able to see and read. Here's some examples of some pop-up books about plants. As you can see, this is really exciting. I know the teachers are also really looking forward to making these pop-up books. I'm just going to play a short video to try and give us some inspiration of what our pop-up book could turn out like. I'm going to post the full video on the blog if you want to go back and watch it again. This will be really good to immerse ourselves and get excited about the topic. ours is going to be even better than this one because not only will it have a pop-up part in the middle, but it will also tell us lots of information about plants. So we need to learn a little bit more about plants before we start writing. Today we're going to look at the different types of plants. There are two main types of plants: flowering plants that produce flowers and non-flowering plants that do not produce flowers. And of the flowering plants, there are two more categories. Some are wild, which means they grow naturally. So you might recognise dandelions, daisies, buttercups, nettles, brambles, clovers, dog rose or ivy. These are all wild plants. And then we've got some garden plants. These are planted by humans and aren't native to the area. So someone has taken the seeds and planted them there because they look pretty or smell nice, or because humans want them in that area. So examples of garden plants are fuchsia, pansies, sweet peas, sunflowers, you might recognise that one, we've been labelling some sunflowers, rose, lavender and iris. In your packs you should find this sheet. During the week, if you go out for a walk, I want you to try and have a hunt and see if you can spot any of the flowers on the sheet. You could even go into your gardens and see if there's any growing in your garden. And if you find them, I would like you to tick them. You could use this later in your pop-up book to draw a garden with different types of flowers labelled. Trees are also a type of flowering plant. And again, there's different types of trees. We've got 3 examples here. We've got a cedar tree, a horse chestnut, these are the ones that produce acorns, and an oak tree. Have a try on your walk to see if you can spot those too. On to today's main task. So your main task for today is to create some artwork about plants and label their different parts. So in your literacy books, underneath your starter task on compound sentences, I would like you to draw your best flower picture. And when you've done that, I want you to colour it in and label it. To recap on the parts, we should have our flower, we should have a stem, we should have leaves, we should have roots. You might also include flower buds. If you want to really challenge yourself, you could label your flower in more detail. So in your science lessons, you've been learning about the different parts of the flower. So you might put the stigma and the style and the ovary on, the filaments and the anther. For the mild chilli challenge today, you need to label your plant drawing with the features. The 4 main features: roots, stem, leaves and flower. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you could do the hot challenge, where you could use adjectives to describe the features. For example, you could label the flower bright, vibrant flowers using 2 adjectives. And for the spicy challenge today, could you explain the function of each plant? So on your label you could write a caption. For example, the bright, vibrant flowers attract bees and insects which aid pollination. So tell me about what the function is. What is the job of each part? Use the rest of your literacy time to complete this activity. I know you're all getting really good at labelling the different parts of plants now. I've seen through your works packs that you returned and through your purple mash task, so I know you're all going to do an amazing job at this. Well done everyone. Make sure you come back tomorrow so we can carry on with our pop-up book.